Dela write my MVVs. Welcome.
They say the jewel ran after, the great lion in tears, but the great lion didn't turn back. He walked out of the royal mansion, leaving silence and shattered trust behind. The jewel was very, very angry. The jewel was crying and crying. They said that was how the great lion walked out, entered his car. All of those people that used to follow him, like when he would go, you know that he has lots of vehicles at the Osun State Governor's Lodge. So when he lands there, the entourage will come, they'll carry him, bring him to the royal mansion. They say all of those people that were there, seeing what was going on as the jewel walked out, the great lion walked out, the jewel was begging and crying. The great lion did not even turn back. The great lion left. That the great lion was saying to the jewel that, do you want to go? Do you want to go and meet him? You want to go? I want you to tell me yes, and I will go, and I will do everything that is needed for me to do, so you can go, because I'm getting really, really fed up of this nonsense. They said, it has never, like nothing like that has ever happened before, that the great lion was so angry. This time, it's not a matter of a big king or all of that. Even big king can be touched, that this really touched the great lion. But you and I know, the reason why I think the great lion is so angry. You may never, ever understand the kind of, the kind of fight that the great lion has had to go through because of the jewel. There are so many things that have happened or that have been happening in the palace that people like me, I can never, ever, ever come here to save them. You know why? Now, if I want to tell you the kind of information that I get on daily basis that I do not release to you guys, some I do not release to protect the jewel and the great lion, you know that I am a big fan to both of them. And others are just, you have to, if you're a blogger, you need to blog with sense, because one day they'll just go and pick you up. And were you there? No. Who told you? It's madam. Those people will not be there. So you have to be very, very careful with the things that you put out there. Now, me, on my own, I can tell you that the great lion has gone through so much. The great lion has gone through so much. Yes, we can argue that, yes, it's good. After all, he started it in the first place. It's understandable. But to redeem himself, to continue to be in the life of the jewel, to continue to earn the love of the jewel, and all of that, he has gone through so much. He has gone through so much. Dela right, he has gone through so much. And so, they said the great lion just walked out. He was saying to the jewel that this time around, for the fact that he knows that the jewel is supporting the family over him, that he was, thrown in the mud. The jewel stayed there and watched him. The jewel did not tell him anything. Why didn't the jewel tell him that the reason why the uncle was doing all of this was because the uncle had made up his mind he wanted the jewel to go and remarry, get married to this Nwangi's family. That the jewel knew everything. Why didn't the jewel say it to him? The jewel said she didn't know it on time. That the arrangement was done maybe in Sydney before they got to London. But she went to London. Okay, another thing again that is making the great lion very upset. Remember that the jewel was in London for that program. The great lion said, you knew that this man who is after you is coming for the program. Why didn't you say you were not going for that program? Why did you agree to go to the program? So the great lion feel like for the jewel to have agreed to go for that program means the jewel consented to the meeting and all of that. But the jewel was trying to explain that she did not even know that man would be there. Now, from the story that we heard that the very first time that they met, that man saw the jewel one-on-one was in London. Other times that they have only seen in Australia. Now, the only thing that is saving the jewel right now is that the uncle had invited her to Australia time and time again. There was a time the uncle was acting as if the jewel needed to be in Australia hook or crook, as if he kept, the jewel lost her placenta in Australia. But the jewel refused to go. At some point, the Great Lion has said the jewel should just go and listen to the uncle and come back. The jewel refused to go. And they said this was what the jewel was crying. The jewel was telling the Great Lion that if she knew that there was something like this, why did she not go to Australia? Even when the Great Lion, made available tickets and everything for her to go, she refused to go. But the Great Lion feels like the jewel knew that that man was going to come for that program in the UK. And the jewel went there so that they can meet for the first time. Meanwhile, there was nothing like that. So with the fact that the jewel did not tell the husband everything, the husband feels like the jewel had to somehow, the jewel consented to that meeting. Like the jewel's mind, maybe one leg is here, one leg is there, because of all of this. And you know, it's easy for a man to believe that, considering the situation that the jewel is going. The jewel is only human, right? She's a girl that has gone through so much. She has gone through so much humiliation. She has gone through so many wahala already. And so it will not be out of place for her to be thinking somehow if this one is coming on a platter of gold and all of that. But the jewel herself was crying and explaining to Kabiyesi that, look, that is not the truth. That this intel you got is not correct. But you know the intel Kabiyesi got. The intel did not blame the jewel for anything, no. The only thing that the Kabiyesi is angry about is that, yes, the jewel knew everything that the uncle was explaining. I mean, the uncle has been trying to do up until he found out himself the jewel did not tell him. So the Great Lion was asking, how many more secrets do you have that I do not know about? How many more things do you have? So you will protect your family over me. Now the thing really broke the jewel's heart. They said the jewel had to run to go and hold the Great Lion to come back inside the royal mansion so they can talk. That they needed to talk this over. There's a people who were there, you know, the members of his entourage that were there. They said they've never seen him this angry. That he refused though. He refused. He told the jewel to go back inside. That he told the jewel to go back inside. The jewel should go back inside. That was how the jewel went back inside and he drove and they left. And the jewel was waiting, thinking that they would come back. He did not come back. They say that night, that very night, that he went to go to his place at, the Osun State Governor's Lodge. And he slept there. And the next morning he left for Ife. That happens to be what happened. It was really a sad event. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.